apart from business, apart from everything, we'd like to really know who Munjal is as a person, right?
Okay.
So, on a lighter note, of course, what is the first thing you do the moment you enter your office?
I think, as soon as I come in, start my day, say a small prayer, and usually check on what's happening. So like, catch up on what's happening on LinkedIn, posts, catch up on the news in the industry, and then sort of map my day as to what all I'm supposed to do during the day. And then definitely, plan what all is supposed to happen during the day, and then obviously then start interacting with the teams, take stock of where we are on production, and then everything else.
Of course. What is the one thing you like the most and least about your job?
I think the best part about my job, I would say, is being able to create characters, create shows that children grow up with, and seeing that and seeing that it's such a huge part of their childhood, right? So when I hear people telling me that my son loved your show, or my niece loved your show, or my daughter loves your show, or oh, they like this about it, or sometimes just watching a bunch of kids discussing about a show that you've created, it's an amazing high, and I think it's also a huge responsibility. I think kids entrust you with the most precious part of their lives. You are part of their memories, their childhood memories. So you have to be very, very cognizant of the responsibility that you have as a creator. We are, we literally are always worried that we should not put out anything which is wrong, anything which can be misconstrued, by a child, because I think a child's mind is very impressionable. It's like clay, one imprint and it will stay there forever, right? So you have to be very careful about that. So I think that's the most gratifying part of it. Being able to, I think probably no other profession can say that you impact so much, because growing up you may watch a lot of movies, but I think probably the stories that you read in your childhood, or they stay with you for the, somewhere they become part of your childhood memories. So that I think is amazing. What I hate is contracts, the paperwork, because I think in our business particularly, contracts can be very tricky. We've I think when we started out, we were probably among the few companies who were dealing with the giants like Cartoon Network, Disney, Nickelodeon. So literally negotiating through a 60-page contract was painful, because back when we started also, not even lawyers within India were not very conversant with entertainment law, and it's not just the legal language, it's the commercial aspect of it, right? So when you're signing up, when you're signing away some rights, what are you signing away? What does it entail? How? And again, you need to have a perspective of 10 years, right? That, okay, today I'm signing this off. How will this, it shouldn't, after 10 years, should not come back and bite me, right? So it's the most boring part of the job, but it's also the most essential part of the job.
Without that, you wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Great. What were you paid in your very first job that you did?
I know I was definitely probably the least paid graduate of computer science when I graduated from and when I joined Graphiti. I'm honestly not too sure, maybe some 10,000-15,000.
Okay. Which is a decent amount if you're talking
about I know that it was like a third of what Autodesk offered me to join them. Okay. Okay. So yeah.
Interesting. What has been your biggest strength and weakness in all these years?
I think my biggest strength is that I'm forever looking for something new. Yeah, I'm always excited by the developments that are happening. I would say my curiosity, and then being passionate about it, so always on the lookout for something new. I would say my weakness is at times maybe a fallout of my strength, which is that I get bored very fast. Sometimes it's not a good thing.
I think creative people they face that a lot.
Yeah. So you tend to, I think, falling in and out of what you love of what you do, right? So sometimes it's like, why fix something which isn't broken? So I think many times I'm guilty of that.
You can't just keep it. Great. The next part is the rapid fire round. Quick answers and one word answers preferably. Describe yourself in one word.
Eternally curious.
Stick to that. Describe what work or a job means to you in one word.
Entertaining kids.
Okay. Favorite destination?
I love forests. So I think one of my most fondest holidays is Jim Corbett. So I like being in nature. I'm not much of a beach guy, but I like being in nature. So mountains, forests. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Favorite quote, if any?
Well, I have one mantra which is seize the day. So make every day count.
Smaller things add up to the larger things.
Yeah.
What do you splurge on?
Watches.
Okay. Any favorite one?
No, I back a lot of Kickstarter campaigns, which are boutique watch makers who make some really amazing watches. So I don't, I'm not crazy about brands, but crazy about something unique, something different. So over the years, I've collected quite a few watches, which are, at least I believe, very unique. And most of these are limited editions. So the guy who would make it maybe would make like a couple of 100 pieces, and that's it. So then they become sort of collect items.
And it's also an investment actually these days.
I mean, honestly, I've never looked at it that way.
Sure.
It's, for me, it's more sort of one artist supporting another. I mean, because I believe all these guys who make these watches are artists by themselves, So, and some really, really amazing, like, I mean, I think, yeah, at somewhere, maybe at some point, I would want to design a watch myself.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know the light was
Yeah.
ingrained in you. Okay. Are you a fitness-oriented person?
I am now, I would say in the last 5 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
If not the professional career that you are in, what would you have been?
Well, I would have been a lot of things. My teachers wanted me to become a surgeon. I think back in my 12th grade, I still remember my biology teacher sitting me down and talking to me for 2 hours why I should become a surgeon. But I was never, I think, one of my sort of childhood dreams was to become an Air Force pilot. The day I had glasses, I realized that that's not happening, but yeah, I would say that, yeah, being a pilot, flying, I think is definitely another passion area.
One love?
Music.
Okay. One thing left to do?
Flying.
Yes. Okay, now take us through, the stages of how Munjal has evolved when he was 18 years old, 25, and then 30. So what were you like when you were an 18-year-old guy like that?
Well, I would like to say that I haven't really changed much. I mean, if you talk to my son who's 18 now, he still tells me that I'm the kid of the house. That at the age of 51, I still watch cartoons. So I tell him I make cartoons for a living, so you can't blame me for that. But I think I would say that when I was 18, I was very concerned, somewhere I had these big dreams that I want to do something interesting, something different. I didn't know what it was. At 25, I was already at Graphiti, so living the dream.
Right.
So yeah. So sort of, literally sky was the limit. I think at that point of time it was, and I remember that I think the early part of my career for a very long time, I think I would work crazy hours, like 12 hours, 16 hours days, just, I think sleep was an hindrance in those days.
Yeah, true.
Because just, excited about what you've done the previous night and you put it to process. So you're very eager to go to the studio and see what has happened of that piece of code you wrote or that piece of stuff that you let out to render, and to see what has happened of it. So I think that thrill and that excitement, that rush was insane. I think.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Anjal. It's been a real pleasure. And like I mentioned, our students back at the college are definitely going to resonate with whatever you've said right now. So thank you so much.
Sure. Thanks. And I hope the students can benefit out of our small chat.
Definitely.
Hopefully.
On an ending note, Anjal, if you have any message for these guys.
Yeah, I would say that, particularly the students of MBA program, I would say that go with an attitude of you don't know anything, and I've always say that always be curious, right? Start from the place that you don't know enough, and I think you will be rewarded, right? Let other people offer you their experience, right? Learn from them as opposed to trying to always make your point. I don't think it's important about making your point as much as understanding the other person's perspective. And I think one of the things that I've learned, in my so many years of dealing with clients, is to understand what they need, right? And then help them, achieve what their goals are. Sometimes they may not be completely there, but I think engaging in a conversation, and starting from the standpoint of being open to understanding their point of view and then putting up your point of view as opposed to trying to shove your point of view down someone's throat. I think I find, while it's good to be, have a strong opinion about your ideas, but I think when you start, it's too early to be opinionated, at least early in your career. Unless you've gathered enough experience, you don't form opinions.
Definitely. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.